So I'm a Swansea Valley girl, born and bred from a little town called Ystrad, just a little village before the Brecon Beacons, and I don't think I ever really appreciated it when I was growing up there, but it's a beautiful place. It's surrounded by those old school mining houses, and it's overseen by a beautiful mountain that we call locally the Sleeping Giant. And it's an incredible place sort of built on those core Welsh principles of hard work, rugby, and of course song. And it's kind of what's helped make me who I am. So I grew up with an amazing family. I was truly blessed to have a family of champions, I would call them. Not champions in the sense of they go around winning lots of things or they're amazing athletes, but they really have been champions for other people. So my bamper, he was politician, stroke magician, stroke puppeteer. He was an amazing guy and he gave so much of his time to children and young people. And my mamo was a huge figure in the community. She sort of brought light into every room. She stood up hugely for the women she worked with. She was the leader of her union. And my mum, gosh, just an amazing mum, really. Can't say so much more about her. And my dad, gosh, total leader through and through. Semi-professional Welsh rugby player, foreman on the open cast, really strong person to be around and demonstrated such good support and leadership to everyone around him. So my story sort of starts right back at the beginning, really. My mum recognised quite early on that I had a few problems. I was different from my older siblings, my sisters. There were just things about me. I didn't really process information in the same way. I guess I just saw the world very differently. And she would often say, I was off in my own world a lot of the time. And eventually they recognised that that had an impact on my ability to learn. And so I was diagnosed with dyslexia pretty early on. But to be honest, I never felt any different. I never thought I couldn't do what other children could do. And it never really kind of impacted on me. But one day that sort of changed for me. I was about 7. I just moved up into the bigger class. It was a bigger class than I was used to. It had a big black chalkboard on the wall. One of the ones like you'd like roll and push around, and everybody wanted to turn at like clapping out the chalk dusters. That was the best part of the sort of get into that class. You got to do that job for the teacher. And I had a new teacher. He was a different kettle of fish, not sort of the soft teachers that I was used to. He was a bit more stern. He wanted sort of results, and he used to wear like a thick tweed sort of brown suit. He had a white beard and a real presence in his body language. And he had brown shoes. And I remember one day in his classroom, he was trying to teach us all how to spell. So he was asking different children to go up to the blackboard with a big piece of chalk and write up different words and spell different words. And so at this point, for me, that is the nightmare situation. And I just kept thinking, don't pick me. Please don't pick me. But of course, he picked me. And I had to stand up. And I remember the word I was supposed to spell kitchen. I could not spell kitchen. And to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to spell any word under that pressure with my ability at the time. There was no way. So I just stood there. But, he thought, I'll push her, I'll get the best out of her. I'm guessing in his mind. And he said, you are not sitting down until you spell that word. So I stood, I don't know how long. I was there, still standing, still not able to spell the word, still not even had a chance of spelling that word. And I remember my peers were around me and they were mouthing the word to me, But I wouldn't write it on the board, not from people telling me, but I'd already gone. I'd gone to the other world, the world that my mum said she recognised so early on that I was going to, because that was the environment for me. But the world I went to, and I remember it quite vividly, was that safe space. It was a safe space where my mum would say to me, and my mamo, "You are strong, you are bright, and you are as good as anyone." And I was as good as anyone in that classroom. And then the next place I went in my head was an even better place. And it was quite a good comfort zone with me. I was thinking, you're messing with the wrong kid. Because I got an army behind me. And I know as soon as my mum found out about that, there was going to be a big fight. And not because she was aggressive, but because she was fierce. And I think rumour probably has it he pretty much retired after seeing my mum that day, or so I've heard. But, you know, the challenges that day, and I still had challenges ahead of me, but it wasn't the challenges ahead, it was the people who were behind. And I had that army behind me, and that's what made a difference to me. And I often think to myself, what would have happened if I didn't have them? Would I still be standing at the chalkboard? Would I still be there waiting now? And you know, what really has made an impact on me recently is I went and for the first time in a long time, I got a chance to sit and just speak with some children and young people. And in that group, there was a girl who said to me, you know, I've spoken to my foster parents and I told them I really want to be a singer. But then because I couldn't sing in front of them, they said, well, you got no hope of singing in front of anyone else. So put that one to bed. And she just felt like she had nobody who believed in her. And that to me was devastating, because without what I had, I don't know where I'd be. And so I sort of think, well, it's hardly then surprising that a recent report from the Children's Commissioner found that Welsh children, our children, are the least confident in all of the UK. And that 4 out of 10 children say that they have no one who believes in them. And even more worrying than that 1 in 10 preschool children say that they are lonely and unhappy. Those figures are so shocking. Now, I work as a professional now, and I work to support children and young people and vulnerable people. And it's so easy as professionals to just step away, to say they are getting that support from somewhere else. There's a parent, there's a guardian, you know, there's a foster carer doing something for that child to build their confidence, to believe in them, to stand up for them. But we've all got a role to play. We've all got a huge role to play. And what I want to ask you today is to stand up with me and to start to take that time to be that for the children around us. Whether you're a professional, whether in your personal life, I want you to start to take the time to listen and believe in and stand up for the children around us. So let's stand together and be the army behind them that they need.